Please welcome Michael and Judy, the Muldawers. I love a sailor loves me and sails every night to my home. He's not a sailor who sails on the sea or over the white briny foam, for he owns an airship that sails up on high. He's just like a bird on the wing, and as the shadows of evening grow nigh, he sails to my window and sings. Come take a trip in my airship. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride around Venus. Come have a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing. No one to see while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship and we'll visit the man in the moon. One night while sailing away from the crowds, we paused at the milky white way, just idly sailing and watching the clouds. He asked me if I'd name the day, and right by the dipper I gave him my heart. The sun shines on our honeymoon. We swore to each other we never would part, and teach all the babies this tune. Come take a trip in my airship. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride around Venus. Come have a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing. No one to see while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship and we'll visit the man in the moon. That song, believe it or not, was written in the year 1904. There were a lot of waltzes during the first decade of the 20th century, and of course this one was not about a ship, but it was about an airplane. Kitty Hawk, I believe, was 1903.
Yep, December of 03. Within a few months, they were publishing songs about air travel.
You've all heard of Josephine and her flying machine if you watched the movie The Titanic. That was throughout that movie, and this was just another song. And I find it interesting that all these songs talk about being alone. It was a chance for a young couple to get away from the watchful eyes of their family and go off together in privacy and spoon, whatever that meant.
Mm-hmm. Now, the song was actually recorded by a fellow by the name of Charlie Poole. Anybody who's familiar with kind of old-time Appalachian. So here was a country singer in the 20s, and I think he called it I Love a Sailor. He changed it slightly. And in any case, the next number, I kind of find very entertaining. There were a whole bunch of songs in the old days that use, let's face it, they were corny rhymes. The typical rhyme was around the word moon. And probably because that's a very easy word to rhyme. So you had all these songs with moon and spoon and tune. And what else? Croon.
Honeymoon. June. Baboon. Spittoon. Well, you get the idea.
So this song actually introduced a lot of these rhymes in the year 1909, and the intro part, which is called the verse, and we'll give you a little education on that. All the songs in the old sheet music days, if you look, they had verses, which part of the song, which typically is not quite as melodic as the well-known melody, which is the chorus or the refrain. And the verse leads into the chorus, explains why the chorus is what it is. And tell them about the stage directions.
This one is so interesting. It talks about a play. This particular song has an act 1, scene 2, and then it's followed by act 2, scene 2, and it gives you the stage directions as we sing it. You will all know the chorus, so you are welcome to sing along, especially if you know the words. Here's one from 1909. I believe Doris Day did a movie with the title of this song, which is just a wonderful movie because she has such a wonderful voice and stage presence. Hopefully we have half of what she had.
Place, park,
Scene dark,
silvery moon is shining through the trees. Cast 2,
me, you,
sound of kisses floating on the breeze. Act 1,
begun,
dialogue, where would you like to spoon? My cue,
with you, underneath the silvery moon,
by the light of the silvery moon. I want a spoon to my honey, I'll croon love's tune. Honeymoon, keep a shining in June. Your silvery beams will bring love's dreams, we'll be cuddling soon by the silvery moon. Act 2,
scene new,
roses blooming all around the place. Cast 3,
you, me,
preacher with the solemn looking face. Choir sings,
bell rings,
preacher, you are awake forevermore. Act 2,
all through,
every night the same encore. By the light
not the dark, but the light.
of the silvery moon. I want a
Not
spoon
night, but spoon,
to my honey, I'll croon love's tune. Honeymoon,
not the sun, but the moon.
keep a shining in
Not
June.
May, but June.
Your silvery beams will bring love's dreams, we'll be cuddling soon by the silvery moon, not the golden moon. Everybody heard that,
Everybody know that one? Good.
right? Here's one they may or may not know. This was from the year 1914, but like so many of these songs, we learned them because they were reissued, they were performed typically in the 1950s. And this one actually comes from exactly the year 1950, and it was by a young teenage Debbie Reynolds in a movie, year 1950, became a big hit, and I think it sold, when they recorded that from the soundtrack, it sold over 1 million records. And so we know it from 1950, but originally the year was 1914, right?
Yeah, this song was written in 1914, and it was in this movie called 2 Weeks with Love. That was a movie in 1950 that I don't remember seeing, but I must have seen it because I knew a lot of the songs from that movie when we discovered the songs that were in it. But as Michael pointed out to me one day, You probably had that little 45 record, which I did. And on one side was a song called Row, Row, Row. We're gonna row, 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 right up the river. Remember that from the movie? Now, how many of you went to the movies in 1950? Well, this is a young crowd. They're getting younger and younger. Well, we went. This was the A side of it, and this is a love song about primates. I think so. Way down in the Congo land lived a happy chimpanzee. She loved a monkey with a long tail. Lordy, how she loved him. Each night she would find him there, swinging in a coconut tree. And the monkey gay at the break of day loved to hear his chimpy say, "Abba dabba 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 dabba," said the chimpy to the monk.
Dab, 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 said the monkey to the chimp.
All night long they chattered away, all day long they were happy and gay, swinging and singing in their honky-tonky way. Abba dabba 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 means monk, I love like you.
Dab, 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 and monkey dog means chimp, I love you too.
Then the big baboon one night in June, he married them and very soon they went upon their abba dabba honeymoon. Well, you should have heard that band play upon their wedding day. Each chimp and monkey had nutshells, learning how to play them, and now it is every night high up in the coconut tree. It's the same old thing with the same old swing when the monk and chimpy sing. Abba dabba 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 dabba, said the chimpy to the monk.
Dab, 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 diddly, ab, dab, dab, said the monkey to the chimp.
All night long they chatter away, all day long they're happy and gay, swinging and singing in their honky-tonky way. Abba dabba 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 means monk, I love but you.
Dab, 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 and monkey talk means chimp, I love you too.
One night they were made man and wife, and now they cry they saved his life since they came from their abba dabba honeymoon. Since they came from their abba dabba honeymoon.
Big question, what's the major difference between an ape and a monkey? Families of apes and families of monkeys.
I'll give you a hint. Who wants a hint?
We don't have them.
We don't have
Tails.
tails. So,
Apes tend to be a little smarter than monkeys.
there were a lot of songs in the
Not
second
all
decade.
of us, but some.
In the second decade of the 20th century, there were wonderful songs that were called jungle songs. And this was one of them from 1914. So now you've learned something you can tell your friends. There were a lot of jungle songs then.
They're going to have a big treat right now. This is Miss Judy is going to channel a gal by the name of Sophie Tucker. And Sophie Tucker billed herself as the last of the Red Hot Mamas. And she had a really long career from, I believe, she entered vaudeville, started out doing blackface in 1907. And she performed long enough that both Judy and I remember seeing her on television. Probably early 60s, shows like Ed Sullivan, Perry Como, one of these variety shows. And she was still performing, and she was sort of, if you didn't see her, she was sort of like a kind of a low-rent Mae West, I would say. She was not excessively attractive, and boy, could she perform a song. And she'd like to belt them out. And Judy's going to do one of her standards from, I think, the year 1923.
And in this song, I'm going to do something called blue blowing. Now, that is not blowing up a blue balloon. It's like a mouth trumpet. So I hope you enjoy it. Some people do. Some people, I don't know.
If you don't, there are exits on this.
This one talks about mama, that would be me, and daddy, but that's not really the parental mama and daddy. Got it, folks? You're all over 21. Daddy dear, listen here, your mama's feeling blue. She don't see much of you, that will never do. Once a week your mama's cheek gets a kiss or two. Well, I'm not showing you the door, I'm just laying down the law. You gotta see mama every night, or you can't see mama at all. You gotta kiss mama, treat her right, or she won't come home when you call. Well, I don't care for the kind of a man who loves his mama and stole the plan. You gotta see mama every night, or you can't see mama at all. For instance, Monday night I sat alone. Tuesday night you didn't phone. Wednesday night you didn't call. Thursday night the same old stall. Friday night you dodged my path. Saturday night you took a bath. Sunday night you called on me, but you brought your wife and your family. Daddy dear, when you're near, everything's okay. But when you go away, I mope around all day. I must know where you go and what makes you gay. I'm not going to share my love with some other turtle dove. You gotta see mama every night, or you can't see mama at all. You gotta kiss mama, treat her right, or she won't come home when you call. Well, I don't care for the kind of a sheep who loves his mama once a week. You gotta see mama every night, or you can't see mama at all. You can't see mama at all.
Okay, do another 20s song from originally 1921. It was a modest hit. Sat there pretty much not played for more than a decade, 2 decades actually, I was thinking about it. It became an enormous hit in 1948 by a fellow by the name of Eddie Arnold. And in those days, I guess it was country/western charts. And it went to number 1 on the chart and it stayed there for quite a while. 3 years later, it became what is known as a crossover hit. So it went from the country to the standard Tin Pan Alley charts, the top 10, whatever they called them, by Eddie Fisher. The Eddie Fisher version in 1951 was totally different. It was slow. It had something like 100 strings, no beat. It was totally different, but there were a lot of the music from the early 50s was like that, prior to rock and roll. And so we're going to do the little bit more like the Eddie Arnold version from 1948. I suspect most people probably have heard it, but maybe not. Okay. Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Anytime your world is lonely and you find true friends are few, anytime you see a rainbow, that will be a sign the storm is through. Anytime will be the right time. Anytime at all will do. So anytime you're sure you want only my love, that's the time I'll come back home to you.
I can't read this. Oh, are we up for the one from 1917 song? Since I can't read your writing. So we had this holiday last Sunday. Anybody remember what holiday?
Easter.
Very good. This group is very sharp. I like that. How many Easter songs do you know?
That's right.
Not too many. Here Comes Peter Cottontail. We're not doing that one. Irving Berlin, in his career, published over 1,500 songs. Probably did not publish an additional 1,500. Of those 1,500, he had 35 number one hits. And I forget how many were in the top 10.
Close to 300.
Yeah, 283 actually, I do remember.
That's close to 300.
And this song that we're going to do is his Easter song. Of course, he wrote the most popular Christmas song, White Christmas. He wrote Easter Parade, which was originally called In Your Easter Bonnet, or am I getting that mixed up?
Yeah, In Your
The
Easter.
original title was In Your Easter Bonnet. He wrote God Bless America, just a few songs you might have heard of. But Easter Parade came about, he wrote it in 1933. It was an adaptation of a song he had actually written in 1917. And it was a feel-good, cheer-up kind of World War I song when the young man was leaving to go overseas, and he was leaving behind his girlfriend and or his wife, or both, his mother, his sister. And the sentiment was, you know, cheer up, I'm going to be coming back, just wait for me. And Irving Berlin in 1933 was writing a show called As Thousands Cheer, and he needed an old-fashioned song. So he went back to this song from 1917, and he wrote it as Easter Parade. And I'm going to start by singing this song from 1917, and it is called Smile and Show Your Dimple. And then we'll segue into the one that you know. Little girlie, you look sad. I'm afraid you're feeling bad because he's leaving. So stop your grieving. Little girl, he don't want you to be blue. That is not the thing to do. It'll soon be over, and he'll come marching back to you. Oh, smile and show your dimple. You'll find it's very simple. You can think of something comical in a very little while. Chase away the wrinkle, vanish with a twinkle, light your face up, just brace up and smile. Little girlie, don't you know that your pearly teeth will show if you keep smiling? So keep on smiling. Little girl, you can cut your cares in half if you only start to laugh. Look into my camera. I'm going to take your photograph. Oh.
In your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when they look you over, I'll be the proudest fellow in the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us, and you'll find that you're in the rotary reviewer. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade.
Everybody sing it.
In your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when they look you over, I'll be the proudest fellow in the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us, and you'll find you're in the rotary reviewer. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade. Thank you. So Mr. Berlin actually plagiarized himself, at least the first four bars of the song, of the chorus. It was enough that if this were a different composer, he could have been sued in court for it. But really, that song has, I guess, what you call legs. It's still played today. And what are we doing next, Judy?
I think we're doing number that.
That one. Okay.
Michael needs to have a bigger font. I cannot see this at all.
Is that the one we changed?
I don't know what we're doing.
Move it closer.
Move it closer.
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
We are very entertaining.
Hold on.
I can't.
Use your water
He
bottle.
says he can't see it either.
Turn.
Use your water bottle with a magnifier.
This is a story I think we're going to tell about Frank Lesser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kansas City. So we're going to do a number from 1929. Right?
Oh, yes.
It has a lot of geographical references. So. And this is the one, if there's any number we're performing today that you're unfamiliar with, it may be this one.
Yeah. A lot of geographical references and cliches, and we have just learned this one. So, anybody here from Kansas?
Well, it's actually from Missouri. Jay.
Missouri.
Kansas City.
Anybody? Kansas City? Anybody from Kansas City? Well, this one will give you a hint. It's about Kansas City Kitty. Anybody know it? Oh, good. Then we can play it however we want. Nobody's going to make a difference. Okay. Chicago Charlie was a good time Romeo. He loved the girls and hollered goodbye, cheerio. Just like Napoleon, love got Charlie too. Here's how Chicago Charlie said he met his Waterloo. I left Frisco Bay, swinging on the Golden Gate, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
I left my pa out in Omaha, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
She come from Missouri and she showed me.
Like a Texas steer, she buffaloed me. Every chin and jack got the well-known hack and sack, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
Chicago Charlie singing no more wedding bells. He got a sore throat singing no more baby yells. They wake the neighbors with their awful cries, and Charlie has to pacify them with this lullaby. I just played the chill for the famous Diamond Lil, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
Folks in New Rochelle said ink done right by mail, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
I gave George Brown my watch case Sunday.
I gave Louisville Lou the works on Monday.
I passed up those queens like you pass up Boston beans,
When Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
I left Frisco Cape, swinging on the Golden Gate,
When Kansas City Kitty smiled at me. I left my pa out in Omaha, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
She come from Missouri and she showed me.
Like a Texas steer, she buffaloed me. Every chin and jack got the well-known hack and sack, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me. When Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
Now we're ready for Frank Lesser. Frank Lesser, anybody ever hear of him?
Sure.
Frank Lesser and his wife, whose name I can't remember, used to do a lot of entertaining at parties with their friends. And he wrote the show Guys and Dolls. He wrote Heart and Soul, so many songs that we know. And one of the songs they used to entertain their friends with, they had never recorded, was Baby It's Cold Outside. And it got to be so popular with their friends that they said, you guys ought to record it. And so there's this all long history about Baby It's Cold Outside. But I've got to tell you about Frank Lesser. What a nice guy. His friends, they couldn't believe what a nice guy he was. His wife, however, was considered the evil of the two Lessers.
Yes. That's right.
But he was very clever, even though his wife was evil.
So the song actually came from his weekly poker game, and the poker players had an expression for the kind of player they would like to join a group, and that was somebody who was incredibly wealthy and was a really lousy card player. And the expression for this guy was, I would love to get him on a slow boat to China. So he took this poker expression, he turned it into a romantic ballad. And this is, for us, this is a recent song. This is 1948. So,
And after this, there will be a intermission where we hope you'll all be able to eat and drink and make donations to this wonderful venue. We are so fortunate to have Solid Grounds Music Cafe in our lives, and I hope you're enjoying it tonight. And we do have some CDs if anybody's interested. They're on the table, and we are ready to play our last song of this set.
I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Leave all your lovers weeping on the faraway shore.
Out on the briny,
The moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone.
honey, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Leave all your lovers weeping on a faraway shore.
Out
On the briny, with the moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. Honey, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
a twist in the rudder, a rip in the sail. Drifting and dreaming, throw your compass over the rail.
Out on the ocean,
Far from all the commotion,
melting your heart of stone. Honey, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself,
and nobody else.
all to myself alone. We will be back after lunch or
Okay, thanks, Ken. By this next number because it has the word surprised in it. And Michael has.
I have the hard part. And if you guys want to sing along, just sing the part that I sing. You'll figure it out after a few times.
This is a song that was popularized in the Ziegfeld Follies of 1919.
Right.
Anybody remember going to that? They didn't even remember going to the 1950 movie, Michael.
Okay.
So this was in 1919, and Eddie Cantor, I hope you remember who he was, sang this Irving Berlin song, and Michael can describe his character to you.
Well, the song actually, if you think about it, you listen to the lyrics, sort of personified at least the stage image of Eddie Cantor, who was sort of, in some ways, sort of like Harpo Marx. He would chase after the chorus girls, but it was sort of like a dog chasing after the milk truck that if he caught it, wouldn't quite know what to do with it anyway. And so he played kind of a lovable nerd. And picture him as Judy sings the song. You'd be surprised.
And those are the lyrics that Michael sings, and we hope you'll
Took me a
sing
month
along
to
with
learn.
him. It did. Johnny was bashful and shy. Nobody understood why. Mary loved him. All the other girls passed him by. Everyone wanted to know how she could pick such a beau with a twinkle in her eye. She made this reply: he's not so good in a crowd, but when you get him alone,
You'd be surprised.
he isn't much at a dance, but when he's taking you home,
You'd be
he
surprised.
doesn't look like much of a lover, but you can't judge a book by its cover. He's got the face of an angel, but there's the devil in his eye. He's such a delicate thing, but when he starts it to squeeze,
You'd be surprised.
he doesn't look very strong, but when you sit on his knee,
You'd be surprised.
at a party or at a ball, I've got to admit he's nothing at all. But in a Morris chair, you'd be surprised. Mary continued to praise Johnny's remarkable ways to the ladies, and you know advertising pays. Now Johnny's never alone. He has the busiest phone almost every other day. A new girl will say he's not so good in the house, but on a bench in the park,
You'd be surprised.
he isn't much in the light, but when he gets in the dark,
You'd be surprised.
I know he moves as slow as the Erie, but that's just a half of it, dearie. He looks as cold as an Eskimo, but there's fire in his eyes. He doesn't say very much, but when he starts to speak,
You'd be surprised.
he isn't much at the start, but at the end of the week,
You'd be surprised.
on a streetcar or on a train, you think he was born without any brain. But in a taxi cab, you'd be surprised.
1919. Another Irving Berlin tune. This is one of his, what he called a double tune, double song. I guess technically you call it a contrapuntal. And it's from a show called Call Me Madam, 1950. And remade, or at least the movie version, which I guess I saw 1953, and Ethel Merman was the star both on stage and in the movie. For the movie, they had the young fellow who was basically had a crush on a young woman in the office, was played by Donald O'Connor. And I'm going to do the Donald O'Connor part. And
I'm
Judy,
going to do the older and wiser woman part.
there's an older and wiser woman, and Judy is
And
wiser.
I give Michael advice as to why he's feeling the way he does.
Illiterate. He could not write or read music. And yet he was able to compose these contrapuntal numbers. He was able to compose numbers that were so complex rhythmically and lyrically, and people in the business who were really well, musically well educated, like Jerome Kern, George Gershwin, they were in awe of what Irving Berlin could do. But
and well, he couldn't write or read music, but he hired a musical secretary to write all those little dots and circles called notes. You're going to do this song from, is it from 1918, this song?
Which one? No, we're gonna do. I don't think we could complete a performance without doing a kind of a Charleston number, what we call a Charleston number. We're not going to do the Charleston.
But we're going to have a helper dancing up here, aren't we, Rose? Where are you, Rose?
There she is.
There she is. Rose is our wonderful Charleston dancer.
We're going to do one of these standards from the mid-1920s, and Judy, I guess Judy could mention a little bit about how this song came to be. You want to do it now or after?
Afterwards.
Okay.
I'm going to be a good student and listen.
I've got to tell you that Rose broke her leg fairly recently, and look at her. Isn't that wonderful? She could do this dancing and
It
it's
was
just,
August, still kicking, and I was off the leg for 3 months.
Breaking my heart.
I
this,
didn't have to have surgery, I just had to stay off the leg.
this song was
I
actually
learned to get up and
written.
off. Do yoga, folks, because then you end up being able to balance on your not good balancing leg.
We'll tell the story after the dancing. Are you ready, Michael?
Okay. Who's that coming down the street? Who's that looking so petite? Who's that coming down to meet me here? Who's the you know who I mean? Sweet's who you've ever seen. I can tell her miles away from here.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Yes, ma'am, we've decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. By the way,
Oh, by the way,
by the way,
oh, by the way,
when we reach the
preacher, I'll
I'll
say, with feeling, yes,
yes,
sir,
sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, ma'am, we've decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. By the way, by the way, when we reach the preacher, I'll say,
yes, sir, that's my baby.
no, sir, don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Who's the who I rave about? Who do I feel blue without? In the winter, summer, spring, and fall. What was I just gonna say? I forget, but anyway, here's the most important thing of all.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Well, look at that baby. Do tell, don't say maybe. Nell's bells, won't you call some round? Pretty soon,
Pretty soon,
pretty soon,
pretty soon.
we will hear that low and grin.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Who for would she be, sir? No one else would be, sir. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't be baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Well, Sonic, well.
I'm about it now.
Pretty soon, we will hear that low and grand tune.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Who for would you be, sir? No one else would be, sir. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Tell a story about that song. So, the Lohengrin tune, of course,
Pajamas.
the Lohengrin reference is, of course, to the wedding march. Dum, bum, ba, bum. That's why I came up with that. This song actually came about when Gus Kahn was visiting Eddie Cantor's house. Eddie Cantor had 5 daughters. And I believe Carolyn, one of the daughters, had a little wind-up pig. You all had those little wind-up things? And he was sitting there watching Carolyn play with this little wind-up pig, and the pig kept doing this to this rhythm. Ch, 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 ch. Yes, sir, that's my baby. And he sat down and wrote the song.
And when the royalties started coming in, Gus Kahn said, you know, how ironic that a nice Jewish boy like me could be making all this money from a pig's tail. So we're going to do now, here's a quiz. I don't think anybody would get this right, but This is the biggest selling record of all time. Came out, at least was released in the year 1928, and it stayed that way until a fellow by the name of Bing Crosby came out with White Christmas in the early 40s, and which is still the biggest selling single record, best they can tell from what the studios will release. And the story about this one is that a fellow who's one of the big crooners from the 1920s, a fellow by the name of Gene Austin. And nobody seems to know this guy's name, but he sold over 50 million records. And one of the early crooners, and then people like Bing Crosby came along with this nice virile baritone, and kind of, and Mr. Austin wasn't doing quite as well. But he was big name, and he wanted to record the song, which was a few years old and not particularly well known, but he thought this was going to be a big hit for him. And the studio was not really cooperative, but they finally agreed to let him record this if he performed the ones they thought were going to be the big hits. And the day came for the recording, and he went through all the scheduled recording. And then it came up to this song, and all of a sudden the band is leaving. And he said, "Hey, where are you guys going?" They said, "We have a gig." And it had been scheduled. And so he looked around. He found a song plugger who could play a little bit of piano and grabbed him. There was somebody who worked in the studio who did bird calls. He grabbed him, and then there was an old guy who played cello. And he put these 4 people together, and he recorded the song, and it hit number 1 on the hit parade in 1928, and it stayed there for 13 weeks. Ultimately, it sold more than 5 million records, and you will know the song. Again, you probably won't know the intro verses, but days ending, birds are wending back to the shelter of each little nest they love. Nightshades falling, lovebirds calling. What makes the world go round? Nothing but love.
When whippoorwills call and evening is nigh, I hurry to my blue heaven.
I turn to the right, a little white light will lead you to my blue heaven. You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room, a little nest that's nestled where the roses bloom. Just Molly and me, and the baby makes 3. We're happy in my blue heaven.
Moonbeams creeping, flowers are sleeping under a starlit wave, resting another day. Time for resting, birds are nesting, nesting their weary wings, tired from play.
When whippoorwills call and evening is nigh, I hurry to my blue heaven.
A turn to the right, a little white light will lead you to my blue heaven.
You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room, a little nest that's nestled where the roses bloom. Just Molly and
back to Eddie Cantor.
Yep, another Eddie Cantor song.
Do you know the names of his 5 daughters? I told you one earlier was Carolyn. How many of you remember that? And then there was Natalie and Edna and Janet. His wife's name was Ida. But his youngest daughter was Margie. And this song, okay, you already figured it out, didn't you?
Yes.
So Eddie Cantor would perform Margie on stage in vaudeville, and sometimes he would make up lyrics because I guess he got bored doing the same thing night after night after night. So to entertain himself, he would sing some funny lyrics that the audience would enjoy. And we found a recording of him live doing one where he talks about kissing this woman, and her kisses are so intoxicating that he doesn't have to drink alcohol at all because he becomes drunk from her kisses. But the Yiddish word for drunk is shikker. So if I forget the lyrics, just remember, liquor, shikker. Got it? I did forget them the other day, so I'm counting on you to remind me. And this one also has 2 verses, and you will hear them. But please sing along with the chorus.
Here's one I must tell to you. All night long they sit upon the stairs. He holds her close and starts a coo.
My little Margie, I'm always thinking of you.
Margie, I'll tell the world I love you. Don't forget your promise to me. I have bought a home, a ring, and everything for
Margie, you've been my inspiration.
days are never blue. And after all is said and done, there is really only one. Oh, Margie, Margie, it's you. My little Margie, I'm always thinking of you, Margie. I'll tell the world I love you. Don't forget your promise to me. I have bought a home, a ring, and everything for Margie. You've been my inspiration. Days are never blue. After all is said and done, there is really only one. Oh, Margie, Margie, it's you.
You can picture me most every night. I can't wait until they start. Everything he says just seems alright. I would learn that stuff by heart.
My little Margie, I'm always thinking of you.
Margie, I tell the world I love you.
Don't forget your promise to me. I have bought a home, a ring, and everything for Margie. You've been my inspiration.
Days are never blue, and after all is said and done,
there is really only one. Oh, Margie, Margie, it's you.
my little Margie, I needn't give up liquor.
Margie, one kiss and I get sugar.
You are like a little doctor to me.
Why, when I'm nervous,
You just put me back in service.
Margie, in some cafe we'll wine and dine the whole night through. And after we have had our fill,
Who do you think will pay the bill?
oh yeah, Margie, Margie, it's you. Margie, Margie, it's you.
Aren't these songs clever? Remind us bigger fonts are really an in thing.
Things are passing by pretty quickly, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good one.
This song has the word Albuquerque in it. Anybody have a clue what it might be?
Rogers and Hart,
That's a
1937.
Who said that? Armin, you do that. I'm impressed. So this talks about a woman who was not high maintenance. She would eat mulligan stew. She would go to ball games and sit on bleachers and probably get splinters. She was pretty easygoing. What else do we know about her?
Well, the song basically is a put down of the high society kind of ladies, and anyways, you'll pick up on it. The term in the song is tramp, and didn't refer to hobos, didn't refer to someone who was of loose morals. It was just referred to a down-earth kind of gal.
And what do you think rhymes with Albuquerque in this song?
Turkey.
Because that's the only thing you can think of. This group is really intelligent.
They're kind of quirky.
They are quirky. I wined and dined on mulligan stew and never wished for turkey. As I hitched and hiked and grifted too, from Maine to Albuquerque. Alas, I missed the Beaux-Arts ball, and one is twice as sad. I was never at a party where they honored no cat, but social circles spin too fast for me. My whole Bohemia is the place to be.
She gets too hungry for dinner at 8.
I love the theater, but never come late.
She doesn't bother.
With people I hate, that's why the lady is a tramp.
She doesn't like crap games with barons and earls.
Won't go to Harlem in ermine and poils.
Won't dish dirt.
With the rest of the girls, that's why the lady is a tramp.
She likes a free, fresh wind in her hair.
What can I care? I'm broke, that's oak. It's California, it's cold and it's damp. That's why the lady is a tramp.
She goes to Coney, the beach is divine.
I go to ball games, the bleachers are fine.
She follows Winshaw.
And reads every line. That's why the lady is a tramp.
She likes a prize fight that isn't fake.
I love the rowing on Central Park Lake
She goes to opera.
and stays wide awake. That's why the lady is a tramp.
Likes the green grass under her shoes.
What can I lose? I'm flat, that's that. I'm all alone when I lower my lamp.
That's why the lady is a.
That's why the lady is a.
That's why the lady is a tramp. Time for some health advice. And, I see there's a sprinkling of physicians here. This is health advice from the year 1929. And I think you will find it still pretty much all applies till today. And so if you have paper and pencil, you might even want to jot down some of this information.
Well, we give health advice because we understand it's really hard to get an appointment with a doctor in Albuquerque. So this will really help you next time you need health advice. Just remember these lyrics. And there's something else this song was popularized in 1929 by Helen Kane, who was also known as Betty Boop. She had about a 3-year stint of being popular. I personally think it's because she had this very nasal voice, and I think it's very annoying after a while. But anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of that nasal voice, but only for a little bit, and then we'll go into regular singing. And don't forget to take your notes.
Listen, big boy, now that I got you made, goodness, but I'm afraid something's gonna happen to ya.
Listen, big boy, you got me hooked somehow. I would die if I should lose you now.
Button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Oh, eat an apple every day, get to bed by 3. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Be careful crossing streets. Ooh. Don't eat meats. Ooh. Cut out sweets. Ooh. You'll get a pain and ruin your tum-tum.
Keep away from bootleg hooch when you're on a spree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
When you sass a traffic cop, use diplomacy.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Don't sit on a hornet's tail.
Ooh.
Or nails.
Ooh.
Or third rails. You'll get a pain and ruin your tum-tum. Don't go out with college boys when you're on a spree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Oh, wear your flannel underwear when you climb a tree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Steer clear of frozen ponds, peroxide blondes, stocks and bonds. Don't get a pain and ruin your bankroll. Take the spoon out of your cup when you're drinking tea. Take good care of yourself.
Good care of yourself.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Well,
We see the orange light.
yeah, the evening has passed very quickly. I hope you've enjoyed what we do. And we'll come back to Solid Grounds. Is anybody in the audience not getting my newsletter? I send out a music newsletter, and I talk about events that you might not know about that are happening in Albuquerque. So if you'd like to subscribe, I promise I don't give away that information. Your emails are safe with me. Let me know and I'll make sure that you're on the list. And then you'll see all the things that are not only at Solid Grounds, but I do write a lot about house concerts that people don't have a way of advertising. So you'll learn about house concerts and events that you might not normally know about. So see me after the show. And now we're going to play another chin-up song from 1918, another World War I song.
Well, that's a little bit more sad.
It is sad,
Yeah.
but it's once again about the boy who's going off to war, leaving behind his girlfriend and his wife. His sister, his mother, his niece, who knows? And it's basically a waltz. We like to end our show with a waltz.
Biggest ballad of World War I.
There's a song in the land of the lily. Each sweetheart has heard with a sigh. Over high garden walls, each sweet teardrop falls as a soldier boy whispers goodbye. Smile the while you kiss me sad too. When the clouds roll by, I'll come to you. Then the skies will seem more blue. Down in Lover's Lane, my dearie, wedding bells will ring so merrily. Every tear will be a memory, so wait and pray each night for me till we meet again. Though goodbye means the birth of a teardrop, hello means the birth of a smile, and each smile will erase each tear-blighted trace when we meet in the after a while. Smile the while you kiss me sad too. When the clouds roll by, I'll come to you. Then the skies will seem more blue. Down in Lover's Lane, my dearie, wedding bells will ring so merrily. Every tear will be a memory, so wait and pray each night for me till we meet again. So wait and pray each night for me till we meet again. Do we have time for one more? Does anybody want to do one more?
This is the Andrews Sisters' first recording, and it was a million seller. Originally from the Yiddish theater, and Miss Judy.
I think we'll just do it in English and in Yiddish, and sing along if you know the Yiddish. From 1937. Of all the boys I've known, and I've known some, till I first met you I was lonesome. And when you came in sight, my heart grew light, and this old world seemed to be really swell. I have to admit you, to certain expressions I really fit you. So I racked my brain hoping to explain all those things that you do to me. By mir bist du schön, bei mir hast du rein, bei mir bist du schön so in der Welt. Bei mir bist du get, bei mir hast du it, bei mir bist du tired von Geld. Wel schön en Mädle heim, bin schön gewollt, neben mir am Fernsehen, alle Häuschen klimmen, wo bist du dich? Bei mir bist du schön, bei mir hast du heim, bei mir bist du schönste auf der Welt. Bei mir bist du schön, please let me explain. Bei mir bist du schön, means you're grand. By mir bist du schön, again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say bella, bella, close to it by mere Mr. Tire Fun Gal. They'll shine a blade the height and shed your fault in the mirror and find it all a oyster clipping. Oh, in their day by mere Mr. Shane. Please let me explain by mere Mr. Shane means your brand.
Thank you so much, the Muldawers, Judy and Michael, and that was delightful. Yeah.